Hey guys, Sophia here with turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com, and I'm back with another video. Today we're talking about the 2022 Olympia fitness results. Oh my gosh, this was so exciting, a lot of surprises, some extremely beautiful women and amazing routines, and I know a lot of you are happy. Missy is back on top. Oh, it's so cool. Now, in terms of the Olympia next year, I put a question mark because they haven't published the 2023 rules yet, but I'm presuming it's going to be the same as what the rules are this year. So the winner is qualified for life. Second and third will be qualified for the 2023 Olympia, and then fourth place and fifth place receive those points you see there. A lot of points. This is the epitome of bodybuilding. So a huge show, absolutely amazing. And I just wanted to say a quick thank you for everyone who tuned in to my live with bodybuilding.com. We talked about the fitness predictions. If you missed it, you can go check it out. It's saved as a reel on their page. I saw you guys logging in and commenting, and I appreciate it so much. It was so much fun. And of course, this was very interesting. Oksana didn't end up competing. She had an injury. And then there were a few other competitors that didn't finish as well. So a very tense division for sure. Okay, so let's check out the scorecard and break it down a little bit. So here is the top 5, but I want to look a little closer at the individual rounds. So for the physique round, which is 1/3 of the score, and it's just about their actual bodies, their shape, their size, their muscle. Oh, so good. In first place was Missy, second Jacqueline, third Tamara, fourth Ariel, and fifth Michelle. Then for the routine, which is worth more of the score, so it's 2/3, it's extremely important. Missy again got first, Jacqueline got second, Sarah got third, which as you can see gave her a huge boost to her placing. Ariel got fourth, and then Michelle and Michaela were tied for fifth. Now, I'm not going to talk about Michaela because she didn't end up in the top 5, but I did want to give her a bit of a shout out because I actually really enjoyed her routine. I thought everything about it was amazing, great energy, great costume. Her body looked phenomenal, and she had some extremely beautiful movements. So I see a lot of good things for her future. So it was a great routine. But anyway, at the end of the day, Missy came in first, Jacqueline came in second, Ariel came in third, Sarah moved way up into fourth, so exciting, and Michelle landed in fifth place. Amazing. Just so cool. All right, so here's Michelle in fifth place. Good grief, this woman has some size. The first thing I noticed when she walked on the stage were her quads. She's got huge legs, huge arms, absolutely beautiful sweep. I think she really stood out in the lineup, particularly because of how big she was. Gorgeous shape. Her muscles looked full. She looked really round. I thought she had a very figure-worthy physique. Absolutely stunning. From a conditioning standpoint, I thought from the front she looked really good. Like her abs are super defined. She's got some nice definition in her legs. From behind, I think we could have had a little bit more detail in the glute ham tie-ins. Just a little bit sharper of a line coming down the hamstrings, maybe even a tiny bit of a adductor definition here. But overall, I think she did look really fantastic. Amazing size. She's got this great V-taper because of how wide her lats are. Extremely wide upper body in general. Just overall a gorgeous shape. Her suit was fantastic, very eye-catching, bright, bold. Her hair looked lovely. I love that it was up, way off of her shoulders, so you got a great view of her delts in this front pose. I thought she was amazing. It was a really good fifth place for her. Now, as for her routine, so cool. She looked extremely strong, very powerful. Her suit was really cool. This costume, I thought the straps on her arms really highlighted her shoulders. Very, very cool. She looked really good. In terms of energy, I think you could kind of tell she was tired. Little bit lacking some of those high, powerful jumps. But still, I think she had some very difficult moves. She looked extremely strong, and overall, it was a fantastic routine. All right, next in fourth place was Sarah. Oh my gosh. So remember, she didn't place in the top 5 for her physique, but my gosh, her physique still looks incredible. First of all, extremely lean. Like, the conditioning is crazy. You see so much detail in her quads. In the back, she even has striations in her glutes. Maybe that's too much conditioning, right? You don't want to overdo it. Even in the lineup, nobody really is as lean as Sarah. She really, really came in tight. But she has a great shape. Very beautiful V-taper, extremely small waist, beautiful shoulders. I think she could have a bit more size in the legs, a little bit more sweep, right? She's got a kind of a straightness here where I feel like a little bit more curve would be nice. And I also thought that from behind, she could have a bit more size in the glutes. She's got a beautiful shape up at the top, but maybe just a little bit more roundness here, just to create a really good balance with these beautiful lats in her very nicely spread lat spread. So I think she looked really fantastic. I was extremely impressed with her conditioning. She had really great definition, and this in particular I thought looked really fantastic. I also thought that her posing was really confident. She looked extremely poised and polished, and just did a fantastic job. Now, as for her routine, amazing. I put a star by her name in my notes. I thought her routine was really good, one of my favorites. She made everything she did look easy. It was very powerful. There was a lot of strength, but there was absolutely zero hesitation, no shakiness, no mistakes. It was flawless. She looked absolutely incredible. It's no wonder to me that she scored so high in her routine, because it was amazing. And I thought she did an absolutely fantastic job. Okay, next in third place was Ariel. Oh man, when she came on, you cannot help but look at her upper body. Her lats are so wide. She has so much thickness and size in her upper body. Like, just look at her back and how full and muscular her upper body is. Absolutely gorgeous. I did notice that this shoulder seems to be popped a little higher. I'm not exactly sure what was happening there. I did go through the pictures to think maybe it was just the one photo. She wasn't quite in the pose, but you even still see it in the back pose. So definitely from a symmetry perspective, we want those shoulders to be more level, just so that the eye sees the V-taper without any disturbances. I also wasn't crazy about her conditioning this show. I think we've seen a better Ariel in the past, right? The Arnold, for example. I would have liked to have a little bit more crispiness in the lines in her legs. I think a little bit more tightness in her waist would have been good. But still, with that said, I think she did look great. She's got a lot of size. She's one of the larger girls in terms of muscle on this stage, even though she's one of the petite girls in terms of stature. So she's got an extremely impressive overall package. I also do feel like I definitely notice her upper body more than her lower body. So I would certainly think that getting a little bit more size in the lower body to match that amazing amount of muscle up top would be a great thing to do. So, a little bit more conditioning, a little bit more balance, work on that symmetry in the posing. But still, I thought she did look good. It just wasn't quite the best Ariel of all time. Now, in terms of her routine, we love this routine. We've seen it before. Terminator, so cool, extremely powerful, extremely difficult moves. I thought she was doing some really cool things. It didn't look completely easy. I think there was a little bit of shakiness. I don't think it was Ariel's day overall, but that doesn't diminish from the fact that she came home with a third place, right? She still did extremely well. The routine was so difficult. She still performed it. There were no big mistakes or anything like that. Just not quite as polished as we've seen her in the past. But overall, I think her creativity, her costume, the makeup, the degree of difficulty, her cardiovascular, the endurance and the tempo, all of that was amazing. And she still did really well. Okay, Jacqueline in second. This was incredible. Seeing her in that split center with Missy was so cool. I think she did absolutely amazing. I really noticed her V-taper. I think she's just done so well. Remember, she qualified for Olympia on points. She didn't even win a pro show this year. And here she is now in second place at the Olympia. It is absolutely phenomenal. I'm so excited for her. I thought her conditioning was fantastic. I particularly noticed the side and her glutes and this line coming down her quad. I noticed the adductors in the back. I think that was really spectacular. She's got beautiful definition. The sweep of her quads in the back pose really stood out as well. I think she has beautiful delts, particularly on her own frame, but in the lineup, when I compare her next to, Missy, she could definitely have a little bit more size, a little bit more height, just a little bit more of that bolder shoulder, right? But still, I think she looks very nicely balanced and beautiful conditioning overall. Great abs. I also wrote down in my notes, her posing was gorgeous, very slow, very flowy, very professional. So I think she did amazing. Great conditioning, great V-taper. Overall, just fantastic. Now, her routine, beautiful. The commentators actually used the word elegant to describe her, and I couldn't agree more. She was just so poised and gorgeous. I found it to be a very contortion-y kind of routine. She really showed off her flexibility, a lot of back bends, a lot of really difficult looking moves with the most beautiful pointed toes, long legs. Her physique looked amazing. The costume that she's wearing really complements her conditioning and her definition. I felt that the music didn't match the energy level of her movements. It was a more slow song, even though she was doing some really beautiful and high energy, difficult moves. But I still think she looked extremely good, and it was an absolutely fantastic, memorable routine. And now in first place, Missy. Oh, yes, this is so exciting. I think the internet is going to explode with happiness that she is back in the Olympia champion seat. She did amazing. Nobody looks like Missy, particularly at the end when there was that little bit of a delay waiting for the announcement of the winners, and the girls were all in their diagonal lines and they were joking about doing a pose down. You looked at the lineup of women who are all top elite athletes, and nobody compares to Missy. Her shoulders, her tiny waist, the V-taper, the conditioning. She's just on another level in her physique, and she's sensational. I noticed her waist looks extremely small, absolutely beautiful ab definition. Her shoulders look huge, absolutely massive, gorgeous round shape. She's got roundness on the top, roundness on the sides. She's got lots of muscle in her arms to match. So in this pose in particular, you really notice all those beautiful curves. I thought her conditioning was absolutely fantastic. You've got lots of detail, deep lines in her legs. This side pose, her glute looked unreal. I actually really noticed the sweep of her quad on the back leg when she was in this sideways pose. It just absolutely phenomenal. Her glutes from behind have a fantastic shape. They look full, they look round, they look hard. Just gorgeous. And the amount of mass she has up in her lats and her back in general, just so 3D, so dense. It's amazing. She's got an absolutely phenomenal physique. Typically, I don't like when the athletes have a space between their legs, and I always say to try to have the legs closer together. But I like the way Missy is standing because I think it gives you a good balance between the size of her legs and the amazing size of her upper body. So she really, really nailed it. And as for her routine, oh my gosh. If you guys follow Missy on Instagram or YouTube, you'll know that sharks hold a very special place for her. And to bring that into her routine, I thought was so creative, so personal, and just really created the most memorable, fun, creative, awesome routine. she took off the shark costume, but she kept this on her face the whole time. It was so cool. It just looked amazing. I also loved the white shoes. To me, it was like her feet had little rockets, and she was just flipping through the air, and I noticed the white shoes, and it looked amazing. I thought she was powerful. I thought she had extremely high energy. She looked very smoothed, and one of the words that the commentators used to describe her was polished. And again, I completely agree. It looked so easy. Even though she was doing extremely difficult moves, it looked absolutely effortless. The energy was great. The creativity was so high. I loved it. I thought this whole theme was perfect. Okay, so here's the lineup. I know the pictures are a little bit fuzzy, but I did want you to be able to see the athletes as they were standing side by side. And I think you can just see how much Missy stands out. Her lats are so wide, her delts are so big, her waist is so small. I think the only one that really compares is Sarah in terms of the tininess of the waist. She's got beautiful large quads. Michelle's quads stand out to me as well, but Missy's got some fantastic definition and just a really nice overall dense look. A lot of muscle, but beautiful shape. I kept Tamara in. I know we haven't spoken about Tamara in this video too much, but just to show you that this is what her top physique looked like against these girls. Absolutely phenomenal, beautiful conditioning. It was a fantastic top 5. Now, from behind, I noticed Missy's back and I noticed Ariel's. Just so much density in the muscle here, so much size. I think Jacqueline beside her needs to keep working on that 3D quality, a little bit more mass overall, a little bit more size in the shoulders, just to compare with Missy. But that's a difficult feat to compare with Missy. I think Missy's glutes look amazing, really great size. Her sweep looks fantastic. Again, I notice Michelle, I think she's got a really nice size to her legs. Sarah, you can see that very, very conditioned glute. Tamara has a similar level of conditioning, just very prominent adductors, great calves. But Missy had the right amount of conditioning to show off the hamstrings, show off the curve of the glutes, show off all that 3D beautiful muscle in the back without coming in too lean to the point of having striations or, looking just too thin and the skin being too thin. She looks full. She looks pumped up. I thought it was a fantastic win for her. Okay, so in terms of Olympia, Missy's going to be qualified for the rest of her life. I believe Jacqueline and Ariel will be qualified as well. And then Sarah would have 12 points and Michelle 11. Now, I've got more recaps coming your way. There were a lot of shows yesterday, so make sure you subscribe. And of course, today we've got bikini coming your way. So please subscribe, give me a like if you like the video, comment below, and come find me. I'm at turquoisetoffee.wordpress.com and of course on Instagram at turquoisetoffee.